Judging her.
Yeah. Who drinks
Judging
everything
her.
no sugar? Me.
Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of
What the Health?
A series on all things health from the perspective of TCM physicians here in Singapore.
My name is Ming.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Zheng Jia.
So if you ask a lot of people our age, millennials, 30, 40 years olds, you ask them about health, I think a lot of them don't really care, right? They might say they care, or like they might take some steps to take care of themselves, exercise, diet, whatsoever. But I think majority of people don't really understand the magnitude of how important health is. Yeah, and so that's why we will be discussing a little bit about this topic.
Okay, so I think for health, to me it is the very broadly speaking is the freedom to be able to do anything that you want. Travel, eat whatever you want. Because when you're sick, you can't really do a lot of things, right? Let's say you're bedridden, you can't travel. Let's say your stomach got problem, you can't eat a lot of things. Or if like me, you eat a bit of chili, you lao sai. Yeah, so that means my stomach not so good my digestive system not so good. So that's also one of the things that is important, being able to eat anything. Right now that excludes chili for me, but hopefully I can adjust my digestive system back. Yeah, get my health back. How about you?
Health, like what Zheng Jia said is like the ability to do things as and when you want and don't need to care about whether here pain or there pain or whatever. But then recently when we are at this age, right, a lot of us has when we go for health checkup, we have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all this although it doesn't really affect us on the outside, but it may be affecting us on the inside. Like high cholesterol might cause stroke and all these kind of things so even though we have a lot of people have high cholesterol, but that doesn't mean that I can continue eating the things that I want or whatever. I just want to have that kind of life where I can eat whatever I want without worrying about anything.
I think the common theme here is eating. Being able to eat. Coming from a foodie country like Singapore.
No, I actually think the common thing that both of you talk about is not eating but freedom, right? I think the freedom of choice to basically do whatever you want. So I think nowadays as working class adults, a lot of us have this mindset that freedom comes in the form of money, which is not wrong because money buys you
Happiness.
But money buys you time, right? And then it buys you happiness and it buys you the freedom again to do whatever you want, right? But then if you think about it, money buys you time to do whatever you want, but time is actually the real currency of life.
So cheap.
If you think about it,
that's right.
If you have all this money but you don't have time on your side, then there's no life, right? And so I actually thought about this, and when you have financial systems, you have this thing called the Fed. So the Fed is the thing that controls the amount of money in the system, controls the interest rates and things like that, right? So I thought about it. Actually, time is the currency of life. So actually, our health is like the Fed of time. Our health actually determines how much time we have, right? How long we live or how short we live. Controls the quality of life, right? Inflation, whether or not our time is able to be maximized or not. So if you think about it that way, money is just a low-level kind of benchmark that we should try to attain. But actually health is so much more valuable and important. But obviously, at this young age where we are not seeing the repercussions of bad health, right? Which a lot of people who are not in the healthcare or medical industry are, then it becomes a bit harder to understand. And so end up we all chase money many times at the expense of health. Even. Right.
Deep.
Wow, very wise. Very deep.
Deep,
Deep.
I like it deep.
Good. I think the makan. Wow, that's a new perspective on life.
Which I never really thought about.
Yeah, like time is the currency of life. You can only spend, you can't really gain anymore.
Yeah. There was this quote that I read somewhere. The moment you are born, you already dying. You start dying the moment you are born.
Wow, that took a dark turn, man.
Yeah, but I mean, ever since I heard that, it made me realize that actually, day by day, we're actually losing time, right? And one way to get some of it back is through being healthy, right? You don't want to be in a state where you lose all remaining time you have left because you are alive, but you don't have the ability to live because of your health.
Okay, so what are some of like the poor health choices that or habits that you see on a daily basis, be it yourself, your family around you, or like even your patients?
Got a lot lah.
Like
Many.
Many.
I think one thing that I am guilty of also is not sleeping early lah.
Yeah, this one I also
this one.
wanted to admit. I don't know why I'm so eager to
I
admit
think
this, but
it plagues all of us, especially
People
this
of our
age.
age.
This
hey, no,
age,
like, actually, I have some friends. They sleep at like 9, 10 o'clock on.
Yeah. Have.
Then they wake up at like 5, 6 a.m.
Here
To
say
do
you used
exercise,
to
right?
sleep early until you met Clarice.
Got sleep early lah. But it's not in my nature, so it's really a bad habit thing. Yeah, so it's just a.
It's a one-off.
You know that it's easy to change, but because you're so used to that habit, then
Big time procrastination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess it's the same for any bad habit, right? Like whether it be diet related, exercise related, sleep related.
I
It's all
think
the same
it's quite related to what you said just now also, where a lot of us exchange our health for money. Yeah. So I think our work is quite stressful. Sometimes we work overtime. Especially in certain industries, like overtime is expected of you, right? And then when you get home, you just revenge procrastination. I heard this term, revenge procrastination.
That's why I now sleep late.
Yeah, then end up sleep late. Because like you just don't want the day to end. Yeah.
Because once you open your eyes, you have to start work again.
Yes, correct. And then the whole cycle begins again. Yeah.
Any bad habits that you're guilty of?
I used to eat a lot of like supper. So like 11, 12 a.m. or even 1 a.m. Hey, we're gonna go eat Maggie or not? Or like just go to like, when you're in university, you'll just go out for like suppers. But over time, as I grew older, I realized that every time after I eat supper very late, right, then I'll be too full to go to sleep. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is when I wake up in the morning, my stomach is very, very bloated. So it's sort of like a little bit of like indigestion because once I eat, then I take a while to sleep. There is not much time for my food to digest inside my body. So last time, oh, very good. The next day, as healthy as new. But when I grow older, then cannot lah, It's like, it's really very uncomfortable.
Things start to slow down a bit.
Yeah, so I try to control.
Okay.
Actually, a lot of these, for us, we learn in TCM studies, but actually our parents actually are quite knowledgeable
they're quite
for some
aware.
reason, right?
Like it passed down lah.
So like
Those
a lot of
kind of
these like
lifestyles.
cold stuff, for example, like pregnant women or before your period, you cannot drink cold stuff, all this. It's not actually like the 老一辈子, the older generation is like general knowledge for them.
Maybe
Right.
experiential also lah.
Yeah, because maybe they did it before, then they kena, then now they
They're
regret.
like, oh, don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, like when last time after people like give birth, then they have to like have like
坐月啊。
maternity,
Okay.
坐月啦, okay? Then like people of our, because they will say like, oh, you cannot wash your hair for 1 month, you cannot sleep inside aircon room. So nowadays younger people will think that, what's wrong with bathing my hair? I can just like blow dry my hair and then go to sleep or everything. So a lot of people tend to not do the maternity very well, like postpartum very well. They will like, they will drink cold water and then they will just wash their hair, blast full aircon in their room.
Like
then,
people nowadays.
Yes, correct. I mean that. Then after that, they will regret not doing it.
I think it's not that you cannot bathe or you cannot wash up.
Yeah, you just have to keep it dry to prevent the wind from getting into your head or like your
Yeah.
lower back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this is something that we also advise our patients a lot, right? At least for me, I don't like to advise too extreme. Like, I don't like to tell patients that, you die also cannot drink water, or you die also.
Lah.
Yeah, because in TCM, it's 中医 ma.
Yeah.
The word 中 is actually means like balance, 平 ma. So actually, a lot of the things we can do, it just needs to be done in moderation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And especially if you know that you have a certain predisposition to something, like maybe like Zheng Jia, he eat chili, then he always get outside. Then you don't eat so much chili. You can still eat, or maybe when you feel a bit stronger, then you eat.
Yeah.
So like that, then it's a little bit more of a balanced way to live your life and sort of you will naturally fall within the healthy habits category lah. Another bad habit that I always see is also the type of foods that people eat.
Okay.
So in Chinese we always say 病是从口入 嘛. A lot of the modern day illnesses that we are seeing actually come from diet, the foods that we eat, and especially in Singapore's context, if you eat out, right, a lot of the food is very oily, very salty, very heavy, curry rice what. I don't know lah.
Delicious lah, but
fried rice
not too
Hokkien mee so all these are very heavy foods, right? Very easy to cause these kind of high blood, high cholesterol, diabetes, and these are actually the main drivers of bad health nowadays. Yeah, so you can see young people, eat supper, eat one whole plate of nasi lemak. Yeah,
roti prata.
So not say that we say you cannot eat lah, but
Moderation
lah goes back to the point, right?
Yeah.
Don't eat yourself to death lah, basically.
Yeah, I think there are schools of thoughts where like as you say, it's taken to the extreme, so much so that even you eat dinner or you eat lunch, right, you need to have like a certain order that you eat in. So you must eat your meat first, then you must drink the soup, then you eat the rice last, that kind of thing. Then your fruits cannot be cold, it must be taken out, then you must put in the oven for a while so that it's warm. Yeah.
What school of thought is this?
Yeah, so it's like the 食疗 kind of school of thought. Yeah, those
food
where
therapy,
you use food. Yeah,
where they
food
break it
as
down
therapy.
scientific.
Correct. Then it becomes very constrictive.
Restrictive.
Yeah, restrictive.
Like
Sorry,
eating
restrictive.
is no longer a joy.
Yeah, it's no longer fun. Yeah. So I think for us, it's a bit more of, like you say, a lot of balance lah. Yeah. Not say cannot do, also not say that you do until the extreme, that kind.
So then what do you do on your own to maintain good health?
That's one that my mom always tell me last time. Like, don't go to bed with wet hair. Yeah. Last time young don't really care lah, but like
as you grow older, you feel the
yeah, correct. When you go to bed with wet hair, then you feel wow, your head very
Very
cold,
heavy.
very heavy.
Yeah, heavy.
Next morning you got headache.
yes.
Wow, yeah, jialat. So nowadays must blow dry lah before you go to bed.
Even if you're a guy.
Yes, correct. Even if you're a guy. Then especially for ladies also, because you got longer hair, right? Then if your hair is wet and then you cui you blow fan lah, like the fan blows the hair, then it can cause a bit of like stiff neck, stiff shoulders, all
Tension
this as well. Yeah, and tension headache, all this kind of thing also lah. So both male and female also need to take care lor.
For me, I believe that every decision that we make is a choice. So for example, if today I have an option of eating like a healthy food versus like McDonald's, if I choose to eat McDonald's, nothing is gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen to me, right? In this one instance. But if I choose to eat McDonald's every time I'm met with a choice, then over a period of 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, then obviously my health will go down lah. Yeah. So actually, health is not about one big concept to me lah. In every instance there is a choice to make lah, and that choice can either be a healthy one or unhealthy one. So at the end of the day, it's just my choice to make sure that my healthy choices are by and large more than the unhealthy choices lah.
It's going deep again.
Lifestyle lah.
Yeah, lifestyle lah. So for example, exercise.
Yeah.
If I know that in a week, if I don't exercise for 1 week, I'm not gonna die lah. But if I don't exercise consecutively for 3-4 weeks, then that's gonna impact my health lah. So I just make it a conscious effort to make it a habit. Like in a week, maybe I exercise 3 times, 4 times, just to be consistent with it. And then over time, you'll see the result lah. You'll have that baseline level of health that you achieve lah.
You have a good physique, like Mr. Ming over here.
Average physique. Yeah, I believe in just being average in the aspect lah, because then it gives me more time to do other things. If I'm so obsessed about being healthy also, right, then it takes away time for me to live life also lah. Yeah, so this is also about not being too extreme, right?
Okay, so for me, right, what I do is like for my bubble tea sometimes. I mean, sometimes when I drink bubble tea, less ice and no sugar. Some people are like, hey, who will drink bubble tea with no sugar?
Someone a producer is judging her.
Yeah. Who drinks
Judging
bubble tea
her.
with no sugar? Me. Okay, and then like less ice because like sometimes like when we drink cold stuff, right, our digestive function slow down. We wouldn't be able to digest food easily. Or like as females, right, if we drink too much cold and icy stuff, it's easier for us to get cramps or like blood clots during like menstruation. So I mean, even if you less ice, it's still cold. You can't feel the difference. So I think maybe you can try. Maybe you guys can like try out like maybe less ice or like maybe try a little bit less sugar. I think that is actually quite
Progressive. Yeah, we have
progressive,
I have this
progressive.
friend that say that she come from Vietnam one. Then she say she come Singapore, bubble tea 100%. She say
No kick.
no taste at all. Oh, man, look at her. What?
Wow, solid.
So apparently in Vietnam, even in Thailand, sometimes you go and drink their tea.
It's
It's
very
very sweet.
That's why I cannot
Yeah.
take it.
But then in Singapore, we actually find the tea very, very sweet also.
Yeah.
So if you are able to taper down slowly lah,
Slowly.
I believe you'll
Don't
reach
from
a point.
50% straight away become 0%.
Yeah.
Just one level down.
Progressive.
After a while, you'll find that actually, 50% also very sweet.
Yeah.
Then slowly it goes down lor.
Tuning your taste.
Tuning your taste buds. Yeah, so we have been TCM physicians for quite a while now. Is there anything that you all seen in your line of work that has had a very big impact on you in terms of this perspective on health and life lah that you have now?
I think debilitating pain. Yeah. I used to, cause as a young fella with no pains in the body or less pains in the body lah, I've never understood.
What pain is like.
Yeah, kind of, in a sense that like a frozen shoulder or like you cannot bend forward, that kind of thing. Or you have just constant neck ache.
Now you start to feel already.
Yeah, I start to feel it. Yeah.
Constant neck ache.
Got constant neck ache. Then my shoulder a bit like stuck. And then there's pain all over the place. So it's just, as a physician, I see the eventual progression of the disease or like the pain resulting in people, they cannot lift their hands, they can't reach behind. So it has spurred me to want to improve my mobility, flexibility, and address this joint and
Joint and muscle pain.
yes, muscle pain
But the problem
issues.
is, do you exercise?
Yes, yeah, I do.
Very hesitant.
have lah. I got exercise. It's just the mobility and flexibility part. I'm quite sorely lacking. But okay, lifestyle, progressive.
Consistency is king.
That's right.
One thing that I remember very clearly is the time when we were in China, right? We go for intern. They brought us to the dialysis center. To me, it was a very it was a life-changing experience lah. You hear the stories of the people in there, where these people are on dialysis for the rest of their lives. Every week, 3 times or 4 times a week, they have to sit in a stupid chair for 4 hours and just let the machine do the work. They are basically tied to that machine for the rest of their life, unless they can find a kidney donor. And this process will eventually suck away their life lah, and they will eventually die also because of this process, right? Yeah. So after seeing that, it left a very deep impact on me lah. After that, I told myself I will never be in a situation where I am the one that caused it myself, right? Whether it be through diet or what, right? I don't want to get a situation where because I cannot control my mouth, that I get diabetes, because that my kidney fail, and then because of that I have to sit in that stupid chair for 4 hours, 3 times a week, right? Cannot go holiday, cannot do whatever you want. Yeah, so yeah, to me that was the thing that left the deepest impact on me lah, and that's also why I felt the responsibility to share with as many people as I can also lah, because I don't wish that for anyone. Yeah. And if you are just aware that this is something that is very real and it actually happens to a lot of people around, yeah, then you can, especially if you are young, hopefully then you can take the steps to avoid that lah. How about you, Keji? Anything that left a lasting impression on you?
Okay, so one thing that I noticed that has been very common is that nowadays younger and younger kids have like problems with like mental health. Primary school kids, secondary school kids are being diagnosed with like depression and like anxiety, which is a very, very common case nowadays. And it's very concerning because like usually like people like 30 plus 40 plus, then they are diagnosed with like depression, anxiety. But for those young kids, 13, 14 years old, they have to take Western medicine just to control their anxiety, their depression. It's really very sad. I mean, it's not like they can control, but I feel that nowadays the society has progressed into something like it just forces the kids to grow up very quickly and like they need to mature, or like the environment around them just makes it bad lah. Like because like nowadays they will keep scrolling their phones or whatever, and then like like people scrolling TikTok, and then like once people if they post a video on it, and then like they will have a lot of like toxic comments, and those toxic comments will like eat up on them, or like bullies. So I think it's something that should be addressed lah, and it's like a very common sight, and it's quite saddening to see that.
So I guess if you are experiencing something like this, then also get it treated or seek help as soon as possible lah.
So actually TCM can help with this kind of like anxiety, depression, or like even like mental health. Sometimes like not being able to control your temper is not normal in like the TCM physician's eyes lah. So actually you can, if those of you who like needs this kind of help, actually can just seek help with like TCM physicians and all those kind of things.
I guess TCM, we're here to provide the TCM perspective of it lah, right? So all these illnesses, they are very rampant or well known in the Western medical community. But actually in TCM, it's a very complete system of medicine, and all these are categories under TCM as well that we also do have methods to treat and deal with. Yeah, so at the end of the day, if you do have any health issues, like in what Catherine said, there is mental health issues that you're dealing with, or there is a digestion issue that you're dealing with, right? These are all very, very commonly treated in TCM as well. So at the end of the day, we just want to convey that it is an option for you to explore lah, right? It may not be what you eventually opt for, right? It can be something that you do in conjunction with Western medicine. It can be something that you do on its own. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's an option lah for you to choose and for you to explore, and if it helps you, then we are very, very happy.
TCM is not just about pain management.
It's not. Yeah. If you go to the hospital in China, they have 妇科、儿科、骨科、肺科、消化科、肾科. Basically, any department that you see in a hospital,
you see in TCM.
You can see in the TCM.
In China.
So
Yeah.
in Singapore, we also learn lah, just that we don't split. So
yeah, because usually
finally
people come to you for pain management first. Then after that, like maybe like if you have like stomach bloating problems, you go to the Western doctor. Then it just keeps reoccurring until you have no choice. Then TCM will be the last option. Usually it's that kind. Yeah. So TCM has many ways that it can help to optimize your health, like acupuncture, medication, or like sometimes even cupping, gua sha and everything. Or like some people who are scared of like needles can try like tuina, or like those ear beads that put inside your ears. Yeah. So it's not just about bitter medicine lah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes acupuncture also helps lah, because some Western doctors, right, they will say, oh, you're taking TCM ah? No, don't take TCM. Or like they will say, huh, you taking TCM ah? Okay, then they will ask you to go and do your blood test and everything. And then if there is anything wrong with your blood test, they will say, okay, stop your TCM medicine. It might be the TCM medicine that is causing it. But I feel that it is a misconception because Western doctors are not very clear about what TCM is doing lah. So that's why they would rather say, oh, stop your TCM. But then for us, when we go to China, they actually combine Western treatments and Chinese medicine together. So that is one area where I guess the Singapore healthcare can improve about. Okay, so there is a question. Is there any condition whereby you cannot take Chinese medicine?
It is a very difficult question to answer because every condition is complex. There are different layers, right? A simple condition can have like mild, moderate, severe. So the common ones that we always see is like, for example, if you have a compromised kidney or liver function, then in those cases, we normally don't recommend to take herbal medicine lah, but it also depends on the staging of the condition, right? Because anything that you ingest, it has to be processed by these organs. So if it's weak already, you don't want to give it more burden. That's the idea. So at the end of the day, it also really depends on the stage. Like if it's a very mild, I believe you can definitely still take TCM. So whatever the case, best is you discuss with both your Western doctor to get his opinion, and then discuss with your TCM physician to get his or her opinion as well. And then you all can make the decision together lah. There's no clear-cut answer in all situations lah. Every situation is different.
I think in terms of toxicity, it's more of, like you say, whether the kidney, the liver can metabolize it. And generally, if like you have poor liver or kidney function, we would not recommend it. Additionally, if you're taking Western medication or like supplements, your body also needs to process that. So adding on extra burden of TCM can also impede the metabolic function of the liver and the kidneys.
Okay, I just want to add on, but then, okay, let's say for example, like there are some that causes toxicity, but then we as TCM physicians, we are trained to like know which one is the more toxic one, which one is the less toxic ones, or like which one you can eat in the short term, but in the long run, it's not good. So actually, we study all those kind of things. So like, we'll ensure that while you are being treated by the TCM physicians, it will not cause any additional harm to like your body function and everything lah.
Yeah, so I guess if you are exploring TCM as well, there will bound to be a lot of these style of questions. So if you do encounter any of these questions, feel free to ask us in the comments or what. We'll try our best to answer. If we don't know, we always have a network of very good physicians who are specialists in different fields. And also to just keep giving you our perspective on topics related to health lah. So that hopefully there's more conversation around it. It's not just all about money. I admit lah, my YouTube is all about like how to make money and things like that. So let's have a conversation where our YouTube is all about health and how we can take care of ourselves better.
Change the algorithm.
Alright, so that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much.
See you next
Thank you.
week.
See you.
Bye bye.